Good evening, Eamon here on Ashdown Farm. Just bringing you up to speed on what's happening on the farm at the minute. We're into the 2nd of February at this stage, and yeah, we got our slurry, a lot of slurry out on our out farm over in Mydrehan, and we got it on with our contractor, David Gagan, a very good, reliable contractor, as well as our local. We have another local contractor, James Brady, that does a lot of our work as well. But we're in the nitrates, the derogation, and we have to put it on with a particular spreader with a dribble bar, and James, our local contractor, hasn't got a dribble bar yet, but I believe he's buying a new spreader in the April, May. It'll be April before he gets it because there's a bit of a backlog on them. So we used David to spread the slurry and bring it over to Mydrehan, and we got something like, I think, around 90,000 gallons, which would be, it would be nearly 350 to 400,000 litres of slurry out, which was, and the weather was so good, and it'll be a huge advantage because we'll get all the benefits from the P's and the K's, the phosphates, the potash, and also the nitrogen. So it'll be very, very good for this year, particularly with fertilizer prices being so expensive. And that's so to get to utilize the slurry the best we can, because it's a very natural organic matter, and it's very, very good for the land, and try to utilize that the best we can. So that's that story with the slurry. We haven't it's quite enough on the farm at the minute. We're just probably getting ready for the spring calving. We'll be starting calving around the 15th of February, and we haven't that many to calve in February, something around 30 or thereabouts. So they'll be starting that, and I guess once again Patrick's Day, the most of them will be cows, the big block of them there, and we've got 20 cows, 25 cows calving in a tight block there, which should be great. And we're planning on letting the cows out Tuesday week, which I think is the 10th or 12th of, no, it'd be further on. I think it's the 14th, sorry. It's the 14th of February, Kenneth was saying that we're letting them out. It's Tuesday week. So they'll be going out by day, a lot of grass on the farm, and hopefully grazing conditions will be good at that stage. So they'll be going out on the 14th, and when they go out I will put up pictures of it and show you the grass and the system we're using, and it'll be all in block grazing. We are planning, we were supposed to do it today, but we had to let out some heifers over to the out farm over in Mydrehan, but we didn't get to, for one reason only. We had a bit of trouble with the tractor this morning. It airlocked. That delayed us probably an hour and a half this morning, trying to get that sorted out. It was the pipe going into the pipe that's in the actual tank, and there's a little filter on the end of that, and it was dirty. So look at it's probably one of the weaknesses here on our farm, that we're not great at keeping machinery, because we're very little machinery. We're not very much machinery focused, and we're a little bit neglectful of tractors. So we need to improve on that, because we lost, and two of us lost an hour and a half today, which is 3 hours if you add it up and you put any value on that, and a little bit of stress attached to it as well. So we for the sake of servicing the tractor and at the off season time, during the summertime when it's not being used. So look, it's something that we were trying to improve on. It's one of the areas on the farm that we are looking at is the weakness, because we've gone through the weakness and strengths on our farm, and that's one area that we have identified. And look, that was proven this morning that that could have been, it was one of these things that could have been avoided. It's a mistake. It's there's probably clever mistakes and foolish mistakes or that, and I'm not sure which to that fall into, but it's certainly a mistake, and it's something that should be avoided, to keep your machinery serviced and that they're working when you want to, especially if it happens, if that happened to on a morning that was spilling snow or something like that. our cows calving and that, it would have been a right mess. But lucky enough, it was a day that it was a fine day. We weren't under that huge pressure, and we got to rectify it within the space of about an hour and a half, and that. But it meant us late going in for breakfast and we were hungry and that. But look, we got over it. The other thing we have done today, we have emptied out our weaning yard and our calf yard, with our calving yard and our sub calf yard. We had 15 of the Frisian heifers were in two of the big pens that we use for calving, and they were there, and we moved them down to the Cubitt house. So now when they moved down to the Cubitt house, we have to move out other cattle over to Mydrian to make room for those. So they are some of the ones going to Mydrian. Not as many as we'd like to have been going. We have a tiny little bit of an issue this year with the autumn heifers that we started AIing them. We started AIing them on the 1st of December, and there was a few of them very, very slow about coming in heat. They weren't cycling, and we had to get them scanned and all the rest. And we had to use intervention on those. We had to inject them with Estimate, and we inject them, and it still didn't particularly work. So we had to inject them again, and what you do is set time AI them. You AI them you inject them with the Estimate, and after a few days you then AI them at the first day, and then you AI them the second day, and hopefully they will hold. But it's the first time it happened. I think the problem was that the energy in this, they were being fed second cut silage, and they came in from Brass and over in Mydrian. They went in on the silage, and we put them on second cut silage. They were goodish heifers, but we hadn't put them on meal. Try to keep down the costs and the price of meal this year, and try to cut down the costs. And the last couple of years we haven't fed them very much meal. And we were feeding them a kilo of meal. We were feeding them a kilo of meal, and it wasn't enough with the quality of the silage. So we switched the silage back to first cut silage, and we opted the meal, and they're actually really, really thriving much better now. So that's something that we learned very clearly. That we make sure that the heifers doesn't drop their energy at AI time, and that causing a tiny little bit of slow up done by letting out heifers. But we'll know in, I think, about 20 days from now, they're about 10 days AI now, and we'll leave them to 30 days, so we know then, okay, if they come in 10 days time, we know they're not holding. But if they don't show any signs of heat, we will get them scanned on day 30 of they being inseminated, and that will tell us that's it, whether they're pregnant or not. And if they are, the other heifers that's already in calf, which is 5 or 6 of those as well, and we'll let all those out. So we hope to let those out around the 24th or 5th of February. There's a lot of grass in Mydrian, and we're running a little bit low on silage, so we'd probably have to buy some round bale silage out there as well. We just haven't enough of silage. Last year we didn't just row enough of grass for whatever reason, or we maybe overestimated the amount of grass and underestimated the demand the cows were taking. So it was a little bit of a mismatch there, and we need to just focus a bit better on our silage and making sure there are a little bit more silage. And if we need to cut back a couple of cows, or we need to do something else, a bit better management, we have identified a few areas that we can improve on, and we will monitor much more carefully next year. So basically, right, look at that's where the heifers are. There's the 15 heifers that's just off milk, and then there's 4 or 5. There's 5 spring calving heifers. One of them got lame. We had to get the vet for her, and along with that is one of the spring and heifers that is due to calve in mid-February. She got a lame as well, and a very swelled hop and that, and we had the vet out for that, and he's not sure what it is, and he's not sure what's the calf, the 9 months heifer is either. She's lame on the front foot. It looks like a foal, but it's not. He thinks it's something in the bones. We're treating both of them, and they're not sick with it or anything, or not in any pain, but we're just treating them, and hopefully they get back walking and that good again. So yeah, and I think we lost a cow as well, an old cow that got milk fever last September, October, never really recovered from it, and she damaged muscles in her back when she was down, and then she hurted her back, and caused an infection in it. So eventually she gave up the battle, and she got getting hard to get up. So we had to do the most humane thing that was possible. We had to call in the kennels and get her out there and use the most humane way possible to end her life, that the animal wasn't suffering. So look, that's up to date on the farm. We're going to be, we're trying to, we have all the fencing checked out. We spent a couple of days fencing. We need to power wash we have all the calf sheds ready for the calves. We have the drinkers washed as well, or very near. The most of them are nearly completely washed. We need to power wash out where the weanlings were, and disinfect that and get that nice and dry for the next 2 or 3 weeks when we're calving. We haven't any fertilizer out yet. We're not planning on putting out any for a couple of weeks because it's very expensive this year, and along with that is we have a lot of grass, and we'll try to look at save money a little bit and save the environment, because you get a good bit of leaching early in the year from the nitrogen. So that's where we are with our farm, and I'll probably tell you a little bit of story that we're probably changing the system of our farming a little bit, but I'll tell you that at the next video, because it'll take me a while to go into that. So listen, signing off from Ashdown Farm. Again, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my videos, and I really love making these for you. I hope you like listening to them, and maybe give me the thumbs up or give me a like or subscribe to them so that I can continue making videos for you. Okay, thank you very much. Listen, have a really good few days until I'm talking to you again, and stay safe with the COVID. I think we're probably getting nearly out of the woods with that now, and look, stay safe, stay happy, and hopefully Annie's is farming, good and good work as well. Okay, thank you, signing off.